Yo, 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 the boys are here. NBA.
Yeah, we are.
Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Starting with the rewind. I guess I'll give a full overview.
Yeah. Last week was a short week.
Last week, short week. There was only 4 games, 4 days of games. So that'll be a short little part of it. Then we've got a team rebranding. We've got a few exciting ends of games. A little bit of a change potentially on the horizon. And then we're looking at this coming week.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So last week, rewind. We got a few notable games that we brought your eyes to start. Thursday, Mavs beat the Suns 123-113. Then the Thunder beat the Clippers 129-107. That was one of the games that Dave highlighted. Yep. Friday, we got Bucks beating the Wolves, which was it was an odd game considering the Bucks won one quarter of the whole game, but they won it by so much that they won the whole game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's hard when you only score, 13 points?
It is hard, yes.
Yeah. So.
Yep, that's not a recipe for success. Saturday, small slate, 3 games total. But the Celtics beat the Knicks 116-102. Obviously, the Knicks are missing a portion of their roster.
A decent-sized portion.
Yes, a pretty big portion. But then Sunday, we got a couple different games. We got Suns beating the Lakers 123-113. Nuggets took care of the Warriors 119-103. But it was close for the first 3 quarters, and then they dominated the 4th quarter. They started off the quarter hot and did not look back. Then the Kings beat the Clippers 123-107.
Yeah.
So
good games.
I think it's worth pointing out. I mean, if you had to say who all of the analysts were super high on over the All-Star break, kind of going into the second half of the year, who would you say? Give me a couple teams.
Clippers.
Okay.
I would say the Clippers. I don't know if they're high. I would say the Suns potentially.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's just end it right there.
Okay.
Yep, because if you look at the 4 days of games, I'm going to give you a couple records here. The Clippers were 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Suns 1-2. The Cavs, who are currently the number 2 seed in the East, they were also 1-2. They only beat the Wizards because they're awful. So you got those teams that are pretty high on the on everybody's list on who could win a championship. But then you've got a number of the other teams that are also up there. Those being the Bucks, the Nuggets, the Celtics, and the Thunder. They all started 3-0. So you've got 2 ends of the spectrum here. You got the Clippers, Suns, and Cavs all going 1-2 out of the All-Star break. And then you got the Bucks, Nuggets, Celtics, and Thunder, who all were either 2-0 or 3-0. So I think that's it'll be something to watch to see if the teams that started off slowly here, Clippers, Suns, Cavs, if they can turn around and get things going.
Come playoff time.
No, like now.
Well, yeah, like
to get to
momentum.
To push here to move higher up in the standings. I mean, when you got the top teams.
The Suns are just an interesting team. And I think a lot of people have the Suns because they have so much firepower, but they never seem to put it all together, like watching them play. I mean, I know they have a lot of talent, but also how many times have all 3 of the superstars played together? Minimal.
I think we're 50-some games in, and I want to say I saw that it was like 26 or something.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
So almost
like
half.
Right around half.
Yeah. So we'll see. They obviously have the talent, but.
Yeah. The other stat, looking at the first 4 days out of the All-Star break, we probably won't talk about them too frequently because they're a very poor team. But the Hornets.
Yeah.
Two, the laugh tells you all you need to know. But they've played 3 games so far after the All-Star break. 2 of them, their score at halftime was in the 20s.
Yeah. I'll say this.
So they scored 29 points in their first game.
Against the Warriors?
No. Against the...
This was the second.
Oh, that's the game they won. Yes, against the Warriors.
The Warriors was their first one.
They scored 29 points in the first half. Keep in mind, there's 24 minutes in the first half. And this will kind of relate to the fourth thing we're talking about. Mm-hmm. In the first half, they had 29 points. They said, that's too many. Then on Sunday, when they played the Bucks, was that Sunday?
Yeah, 26.
Yes. On Sunday, they played the Bucks. They scored 26 in the first half. So 29, that's too much. 26, okay. 26 currently is like a normal quarter score.
Yes, if your starters are playing.
Not a full half. That's literally almost only 1 point per minute in an NBA game.
That's awful.
That's horrendous.
I mean, they're really bad.
But even so, I think that you could take a good college team and they could score more than 26 points in a half.
You think so? Against a professional team?
Yes.
Okay.
It like a good college team.
Yeah.
But I think that they could score more than 26 points. That's
crazy.
Truly 13 baskets.
Yeah.
In 24 minutes of
13
gameplay.
twos, yeah. No threes.
Correct. Yeah, that's not even any
threes.
threes. That's not any free throws. The clock doesn't move when you're shooting free throws.
The worst part is there's 4 teams that are worse than them record-wise. But they are literally...
I don't know, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the Wizards are literally on a 12-game losing streak.
Yep. They're not good either.
There's some bad teams.
We don't need to spend time talking about these bad teams anymore.
No, but this comes to our next point.
I thought that was a fun stat for you.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I think, LaMelo Ball's been out, right?
Yes.
Not saying it's a huge, that's still...
He would at least provide a little bit more scoring, but at the end of the day, 26, that's awful.
That's horrendous.
So.
Yeah.
And then now we've got the look at the Clippers rebrand.
Yeah, kind of an interesting...
So they've got a lot of new things coming. They got the stadium. And they said, we're going to rebrand.
Yeah, the jerseys, the stuff like that. I think it's interesting. I mean, I don't know if there's ever a right time. I mean, I guess it just is whenever you want.
Gotta be right now.
Yeah. Well, it's also one of those things where they are one of the teams that the spotlight is being put on them because a lot of people are like, this is the team. They're playing well. They have all the pieces. People are healthy. Mm-hmm. They have a good chance to go decently far, if not the championship. So, yeah, it's an interesting rebrand. I mean, it's kind of cool. Yeah. I don't hate it.
What is a clipper?
I don't know. Is it someone who cuts your hair?
No.
Like clips?
I mean, if I had to guess, it's got to be something with a ship.
What
right?
Is a clipper?
Yeah.
What is a clipper haircut right there?
Oh, what is a clipper ship?
Where did you see that? Oh, new ship logo for rebrand. So yeah, it must be a ship.
Well, yeah, because inside the C is a compass, rose, and a ship.
Yeah, the Clippers got their name from fast-moving sailboats.
Okay.
Popularized in the 1800s.
That doesn't look like a sailboat, though. That looks like a cruise ship in their logo.
Yeah, that looks like a carnival ship coming right at you. Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it.
I mean, the colors pretty much stayed the same. It looks like red might be a little bit more of a primary color for them.
They had a basic logo before, though, so it was kind of modernize it a little bit.
Very basic.
Yeah, if anybody cares, the verb clip means, or historically has meant, to run or fly swiftly.
Okay. Not sail, though.
They're the Los Angeles Swifties. Fly swiftly.
Don't give people more incentive there.
Taylor Swift? Okay.
And then they got jerseys.
Yeah.
With cursive letters on them.
Red, blue, white. Yep. Team colors. They look good. I mean, they're still they're just basic. quote unquote basic. They look modern, but the blue ones are kind of sweet.
I like the red ones the best.
Yeah, they say Los Angeles.
Yep.
So yeah, they're cool. Making waves. Did you see that? It's making waves. Get it like a ship. Yeah, make waves. Pretty cool. Pretty sure the owner of the Clippers is like a guy who helped with Microsoft.
Okay.
Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
Crazy man, but good for him.
Yeah.
So there you go.
The next thing. Take it away.
Take it away. Take it away. Take it away.
Last second shots.
Yeah, we're talking about last second shots when the game is out of reach. We had a few this past week, obviously very noticeable or very notable.
Yep.
Timberwolves, Mike Conley.
Came into spotlight a little bit.
Yeah, Mike Conley shooting a three-pointer. End of the game, Dennis Schroeder taking offense to it, pushing him, shoving him. A little altercation, never hurt anybody. But my take is...
As long as it's not too aggressive.
No, 100%. But also at the same time, do you think it gets to a point where like these players know, or do you think they actually like they knowingly are like, hey, this is gonna start something? Like it's like the guys who go on a fast break at the end of the game instead of running it out, they do a 360 dunk. Mm-hmm. So do you think they know, like, hey, I want to start?
Was there another one?
It was with the Hornets, your team, and the Warriors.
Not my team.
The Hornets and the Warriors. I'm pretty sure Draymond Green came off the bench somehow and took offense to it. I think, what is it, Miles Bridges and somebody? Oh, it's Quinones. I think his name was Lester Quinones.
Yeah.
Did a layup or something crazy, I guess. At the last second, and people took offense to it. So, I don't know. What's your thoughts? Would you get offended if you were facing a team you were down by 20 and they decided to shoot a three-pointer with 15 seconds left?
Well, there's a difference in these two scenarios, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The difference is, for the Wolves, the shot clock was running down. There was 2 on the shot clock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're either going to shoot it...
Or take a shot clock turnover.
Why wouldn't you shoot it? That one doesn't make any sense why anybody would get frustrated with it. I mean, yes, the game is out of reach, but at the same time, like, if you don't shoot it, then we're going to have a violation.
Yeah, so did you know, fun fact for you though, that doesn't count as an individual turnover.
Yeah, it's just team turnover.
So so maybe that's it right there. It's not even against you.
But I think that the difference is for the other one, that one was just he wanted to shoot it.
Oh yeah.
So there is a difference between those two. The one that they're like, oh, I just want to shoot it because, well, I think that doesn't need to happen.
Like an unwritten rule right there.
Correct. Especially in the NBA. Like, they're in the NBA already. It's not like it's a guy on the end of the bench in a college basketball game that never plays ever.
Yeah.
You know, like typically guys in the NBA, yes, they might not play as much, but the ones at the end of the game of a blowout, like they get in every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know,
even then you don't see them a lot. Like, know your role. Just
or at the end of the day, they're still getting paid a good amount of money, so it's not a big deal. Whereas in college basketball, at the end of the game, if you're the end of the bench, you might not even play the whole year.
No, you want to go get shots. You're going to go get shots.
Yes.
Yeah, but I will say this, in college basketball, I think it's definitely less frowned upon because I think they do realize that, where it's like, hey, we're going to sub our guys in with 45 seconds left. It's one more possession. Go get a shot.
Yeah, well,
but it's also different in college where it's like if the shot clock if there's no shot clock and there's 20 seconds, it doesn't matter if the guy's at the end of the bench. He usually just runs out the clock.
One of the games Alabama was playing, they were up 97 to like 80, and
still hucking.
They were launching threes at the end of the game to try and get to 100 points.
100%,
and they
dude.
did.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean,
it's college.
Why is it that big of a deal if it happens? But I do think it's different if the shot clock's going to run out. Like, why wouldn't you shoot it? That makes no sense.
I also think it's...
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, I like you said, both scenarios are different, but I do also think at the same time, like, I can see why some of these players get upset because the game was way out of reach. Maybe they're just frustrated at the game. But also at the same time, like, I've never understood why people do get so frustrated and, like, shove somebody. Like, what does that do? Like, oh, I just shoved them and said probably a few explicitive words. Cool. Make you feel good about yourself, buddy. Like, Schroeder, you've been in the league long enough. You're on a dog crap team now. You're gonna get smoked. Handful of games.
Yeah.
I mean, your team stinks.
You're gonna be in this situation again.
Yeah. So just take it easy, buddy. And Yeah, do whatever. And then the Lester Quinones one was kind of ironic because it was just like, you need to know better.
Yeah.
You need to know better. You're blowing out the team. Both teams have a bunch of hotheads on their team. Draymond Green, Miles Bridges, whatever. So it's like, you knew something was going to get started.
Well, they're both Sparty dogs.
Well, and I also just love, too, after the game, like, there's that altercation, quote-unquote. And then after the game, they're all just talking like Seth Curry and Steph Curry with Draymond and Miles Bridges, and they're just boys.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys just wanted to fight each other 5 seconds ago.
You got to have your teammates back.
No, I support that, but also Lester Quinones be a little better.
Yeah, you gotta
just be a little better.
Know the situation.
Know the situation. That's all it is. So it won't stop happening.
No.
So
it will not.
There is.
You want to know what's funny that I took away from that conversation is we're definitely still lovers and not fighters.
Oh, 100%. If you get smoked by 20, just suck it up, swallow your pride, and just walk off the court.
On to the next game.
And like Chris said, if you win by 20, you lose by 20. You're in the NBA, your paycheck is still the same.
You're making a good amount of money.
You're making enough money. You can go get a new pair of shoes that'll be in your locker next game. You're fine.
Yep.
So don't push people.
You might not even have to go get them.
Yeah, they're probably there.
The next thing that's coming down the pipeline that's started to happen, the competition committee has started to look at if the NBA game is too offensive focused.
Real talk, I didn't even know that was I didn't even know that was a thing before we started talking about this.
It's, as you can see, games are, in games that the Hornets are not playing, they're very high scoring lately. Teams are sometimes scoring 150, 140. Teams are consistently scoring in the 140s. So it's, the competition committee's starting to look at that. See if they got to add something, add a rule, take out a rule that will help the defensive players. Which might be the first time in a long time that a rule change actually helps the defender.
Yeah. Do you know what they would do? What's a rule change that you could help the defense?
Well, it'll probably, I think the most likely is probably just right now you pretty much can't have any contact.
Zero.
Any physicality on defense.
Oh, and also depending on, it's definitely player based. I think so.
It's
to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent for sure.
But I mean, I agree with you. You can't touch. But then also at the same time, some of these guys set screens and they don't even set a screen. They just grab the guy and move.
Correct. Yes. So I think that the most likely, and I mean, I'm not the first person to say this, so somebody else has said it, but to add physicality back to the
game,
to the defensive abilities.
Yeah.
Like if you touch somebody, then it's not in a basketball game. Then it's gonna be a foul.
Yep.
Whereas if you can add some physicality back to the defender, then you're gonna be able to do more things to stop an offensive player.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I will say this though. The reason, it's an offensive league. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these guys, when you watch the games, yes, the defense isn't great, but these guys just don't miss. They just don't miss, and they're so skilled and they're so athletic that it's like all these guys now.
But there's something to say about being able to kind of do whatever you want on the offensive end. Like obviously,
100%.
Since they are so skilled, they're going to be able to score a lot of points because the defense can't
do anything.
Have any physicality towards them, otherwise it's going to be a foul. And then it's free throws, and then it's more points.
Yeah, and it slows the game down. I mean, it's like the whole thing, James Harden basically established the swoop thing, where you go like the swoop, and he got away with that for so long.
Chris Paul was really good at it.
Yeah, and this would be like 3 shots. It's like, okay, well, the guy's shooting 85-90% from the line, he gets 3 shots.
That's going to be a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Mm-hmm. And defensively, what do? It's the same in all sports. Like, defense is hard. Yes. No one wants to play defense. No. It's impossible.
Yep. So it's just a review starting. So it's not like anything is for sure going to change, but at least they're looking at it. So I mean, the committee chair, I think it is, the person that's in charge of the committee. They've already come out and said that as long as the games are competitive, then that's the biggest thing that they're focused on. So If it's 160 to 165, or if it's 85 to 88, as long as the games are competitive, that's the goal of what they're trying to accomplish. So it's
an entertainment site too, but the hard part about it is you have a lot of these teams, like there's a few handful of teams like the Hawks, the Pacers, whoever, they just try to outscore their opponents.
Totally.
And so it's like you got a lot of those games, but then you also have games too where it's like Celtics are playing somebody else and it's a huge game, and all of a sudden they might go cold from the field and they're losing by 30.
Right.
So it is hard, but I do think at some point, I mean, if the All-Star game taught us anything, holy moly. It's like, bruh.
That's right.
So, yeah, we'll see. Pretty cool committee. Never heard about it, but now we're here.
Now you have.
So,
now we're looking into next week.
Bang, bang.
We got our 3 categories that we established last week. We got matchup we're most looking forward to on an individual basis. We've got game we're most looking forward to team-wise. And then we've got dog of the week.
Woof, woof.
There we go. So, do you remember which one we started?
Yeah, matchup to watch. Team matchup.
All right, team matchup to watch. What are you giving it?
So my team matchup is a little hometown one. We got the Clippers visiting the Wolves. Obviously, big matchup. Timberwolves tied for first right now. Clippers are...
What day is that?
This is on Friday.
No.
Thursday.
No.
Saturday. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
I believe it's Sunday.
Okay, we'll double check. We'll see. 3-3. Oh yeah, because they play the Kings first. So Sunday at 2:30.
Yes.
So big weekend for us.
My game is also on Sunday. It's the Thunder and the Suns. Because, as we mentioned at the beginning, the Suns had not started out after the All-Star game strong. The Thunder have, and now people are like, whoa, is the Thunder team actually legit? I don't know what took you guys so long to understand that they're a solid team. But I think that this is a game where if the Thunder win, then it's really going to separate the teams that are kind of on this upward trajectory and the teams that are not starting out hot. If the Suns can win, then it's like, okay, they beat the Thunder. Like, it's solidified that we're not worried about them. They'll be fine come playoff time. But if they keep losing these games, then it's not going to be good for them.
It's kind of like a prove it game.
Correct.
Just a prove that you're going to compete for the conference or compete moving forward.
Yep, definitely. Dog of the week.
So I'm staying with that game. I'm saying that the Suns will beat the Thunder, get back on track.
Okay.
And go forward. Right now there's no lines out, but I would assume that the Thunder are probably a few point favorites. So, going with the Suns.
My dog that I'm going with, and I will just say the Pistons dog was almost a realization. But on Saturday, I'm going to go Jazz over the Heat.
I think the Jazz, I'll say this. The Jazz are a solid team. I know their record doesn't show it. They're solid. Their starting lineup is decent.
They just have too many stretches of time where they don't play well.
Yeah, but they've got some good players.
So I think they're going to beat the Heat. The Heat have been going through some injuries. They had Jimmy suspended. They just had a lot of ups and downs in terms of injuries, guys in and guys out. So I think that the Jazz will be able to
take care of them,
to beat them on Saturday.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. My matchup, individual-wise, is Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, 2 of the top players, obviously, in the league, if not up there for top point guards. I don't know. Jalen Brunson's solid, though, averaging over 30 points.
You could argue probably top
5.
Yeah. Maybe 8.
Yeah.
Top 8.
Yeah, I would say it's probably closer to top 8, but they're definitely solid. They're definitely up there. Obviously, both were all-stars, so Cavaliers, Knicks, see what happens.
Okay. I'm going to go with matchup on Friday, Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum. Mavericks, Celtics on Friday night.
Should be a fun one.
Yeah. I think that matchup, 2 guys that can just score
pure scores
at will.
Yeah. You just got to hope that the game's close, and then both usually play very well. Big games. Is it at Celtics or at? Do you know?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if it really matters. I think Luka can score anywhere. So
yeah, it's versus the Mavericks on the 1st. So it's at Boston. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I know that doesn't make a difference. I think it'll just be
the Celtics are undefeated against Eastern Conference teams at home, but unfortunately they lost to the Western Conference teams, so that helps the Mavericks.
Yeah. See what happens.
Yep. And
that's all I got.
And that's the NBA rundown for the week.
Peace.
See y'all later.